Podcast Network. Here's Jason Martinez and Brian Smith on the BetRivers.com Flyers Broadcast Network.
Yeah, coming to you live from the Wells Fargo Center for the first time this year. Preseason game number 4 tonight between the Flyers and the Devils. It's Jason Martinez, Brian Smith here on the Flyers Broadcast Network. Brian, I don't know that revenge really goes into preseason, but Flyers are playing better hockey, that's for sure.
I think, and we briefly discussed it, I think yesterday's game was probably the most entertaining preseason game I've ever seen.
In any sport?
And I don't know about any sport. Maybe, I suppose. You know, those baseball games can get pretty good. But at any rate, I've heard that same sentiment tonight here at Wells Fargo Center from a bunch of people. So it wasn't just us. A lot of folks were really impressed by that game last night the Flyers put forth, and the Bruins for that matter. I mean, it was definitely not a dominant situation. So that group played very, very well. For the most part, it's a different group tonight, but there are some holdovers, some interesting holdovers, and some guys getting some big chances here tonight. Honestly, we're just hoping that I'm not even really thinking about the last time they played the Devils. I'm just hoping tonight is as entertaining as last night was.
Yeah, that game had everything last night, and a rarity, a Flyers shootout win. And the franchise's history, that has not been a strong suit. One of the guys that was featured in that shootout last night, I guess he got technically the game-winning goal. He also had the game-tying goal. He had an assist on a power play goal, and he's back in the lineup once again tonight, playing alongside Noah Cates and Wade Allison, and that's Bobby Brink. He's playing back-to-back games, and if he can continue to put some wow moments on display and on tape, then he's going to make it really difficult for this coaching staff on a decision for him in this lineup.
Yeah, there's no question that this is a huge opportunity for him to step in here and expand on what he did last night. Obviously, the games that he's been in so far, I think, have been a very, very good showing for him. Last night being kind of the cherry on it to this point, and now he gets another opportunity here to see what he can do again. He's definitely probably earned himself more time in Flyers camp than maybe he would have gotten if he had not had a good preseason. Phantoms camp opens tomorrow. Flyers are going to be stocking it. Whether or not he goes there right now or if he's going to get an extended look, we'll have to see. But if he has another game tonight like he did last night, would not be surprised to see him get that extended look.
Yeah, and Flyers did take care of some more business today as Flyers general manager Daniel Briere announced that Elliot Denoyer and Helgi Grans were loaned to the Lehigh Valley of the American Hockey League. They also released forwards Jordy Bellerive and Jacob Goucher from their PTOs, and both will report to the Phantoms. So they're down to 40 players now. Denoyer is an interesting one because he was a guy maybe people thought could push for camp. I think some of the messages you heard from John Tortorella and Ian LaPerriere that there's still more work to be done there at the AHL level for him. But, Brad, there's an interesting dynamic in tonight's game. We've talked about the Flyers over last year and obviously this year as well as being an NHL team where they present a lot of opportunity for players. And there's some guys here because of that opportunity, when you look at a guy like Victor Mete. But in particular, there's a player in tonight's lineup for the Flyers who's getting not only the opportunity in this camp to make an impression, but he's getting a real good opportunity by playing with Sean Couturier and Travis Konecny, and that's Brendan Furry. Tell us a little bit from the Furry file, if you will. Educate us.
That's an actual thing from his college his college game notes in the Minnesota State Mankato, which is where he came from. He signed with the Phantoms last year in April 3rd to be exact, after his college season had ended, and at the time he was signed to a tryout for the rest of the season, an ATO, yes. But he also signed a 2-year AHL contract at the time that was going to take effect this fall. So far in this camp, he might be playing his way right out of it to the point where it wouldn't be a shock if maybe the Flyers rip it up and make it an NHL two-way or something like that. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head exactly where the Flyers are right now in terms of NHL contracts. You're limited to 50. I don't know if they have any room for that or not, but I think he's when it comes to the names that John Tortorella has spun off, he wouldn't give us names, but he said some guys had maybe jumped on his radar a little more than he expected. I think this guy is one of them. He had a very good run with the Phantoms briefly last year, just 3 regular season games and then the 3 postseason games. But he was a point per game player at Mankato as a junior 2 years ago. I'm not sure if it was sophomore or junior year. I think he came out in 3 years, it looked like. But he played in the USHL before that. And, it might be one of those guys that's kind of charging along here and coming a little bit out of nowhere in the American junior route and then to college. We'll see where he goes, but he gets an incredible opportunity tonight here, as you said.
Yeah, Sean Couturier, Travis Konecny, and Brendan Furry on the Flyers' top line. Tonight is the night we're also going to see Cam Atkinson for the first time, Bri. Sean Couturier played in that first game against the Devils. Atkinson was slated to play in that game, but he had some soreness, some general soreness. Team opting to be a little bit more cautious with Cam Atkinson. Didn't have him in that game. Hasn't played, but is in the lineup tonight. We just saw him take warm-ups, and it will be good to see number 89 back out there after missing the entirety of last season.
Just warm-ups are warm-ups, but just watching him take warm-ups, oh my, was he flying. He had a couple of snipes. I think he caught both posts at one point. He is raring to go. And, again, we thought we were going to see him perhaps the other night up in Jersey. Ended up not being able to go, just a little banged up. He's fine now. He's going to get that shot tonight. And, again, you hit the I don't think any of us can really relate to what it's like to hit the ice for the first time after missing an entire season. And you got to remember that his circumstances were a little bit different than Sean Couturier's. He came to camp. He actually did the skate last year, and it was the first day of regular camp that something wasn't right. And he didn't know, I don't think, until maybe the surgery, that he was going to miss a whole season. Yeah. So, that was a weird year for him. So I got to imagine that it's just an incredible feeling to finally be able to get back out there in a building like this and play a game here tonight.
Yeah. And the other thing is players, they are human, and wondering if you're ever going to get back out there after having, the struggles diagnosing what the issue was and fixing it. And boy, it's been a trying time for Cam, and he'll be back out there tonight. So great to see him. We're also going to see our first look at Carter Hart tonight, Brian. Last year, Carter Hart didn't play a millisecond of preseason hockey. And you go, well, you need preseason as goaltender to knock off the rust. It's my contention still to this moment. I don't know that he ever needs to play preseason. He opened up the year last year. In his first 8 games, he went 6-0-2. He allowed 16 goals. He had 280 saves, a stunning 946 save percentage in those first 8 games as well. But he is going to get preseason action tonight, and it looks like he might get the whole game. Yeah,
it's his opportunity here. Again, I don't think that you might look at last year and say, okay, I want to repeat that and just not play the preseason and come out guns blazing. But, I'm sure that it's got to really kind of, level your comfort level out a little bit to get out here. You can see scrimmage games and stuff like that. Is what it is. The speed is maybe there. But, as a goaltender, it's different playing in a practice rink than it is in a building like this. And so you get an opportunity to get that in there. And exactly. You get – we've seen the times when, goalies seem to, maybe lose a guy along the boards because, Buffalo, I think it was. They got blue jerseys. They got blue seats. You got a blue guy in jersey and in front of blue seats, you lose them. Just little things like that. So I think it's great that he's, been able to take the week here of preseason to kind of get ready, and now he gets the opportunity in this one.
You ever go to the YMCA and shoot a free throw in the gym there?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, this isn't that bad. You ever try and shoot a free throw on the Wells Fargo Center floor when the hoops are out?
It was almost a crosswind.
It feels weird. The spatial awareness is real. You feel like, oh, my goodness, I feel like I'm a mile away. But those things are – and they're very real for goaltenders and point of references and all of that. Absolutely. So it's going to be the Flyers and the Devils tonight. It is the first home preseason game. And this kicks off the unofficial second half of the preseason. 3 road games to start, including that loss to the Devils on opening night, the 2-1 loss against the New York Islanders, and then last night the shootout win. Now the final 3 games as the roster gets smaller and smaller. We march our way towards final cuts and the NHL regular season, which is now under 2 weeks away, if you can believe that. So Flyers Devils here tonight. It's Carter Hart versus Vitek Vanacek. That's the goaltending matchup. But stay tuned, because on site, boots on the ground. Tim Saunders, Todd Fedoruk. They've got the countdown to face-off, and that's followed by all the first period action here at the Wells Fargo Center. You've been listening to Flyers Game Day, brought to you by the BetRivers.com Flyers Broadcast Network.
You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Now, it's time for Philadelphia Flyers hockey.
They got their first win last night in Boston. Now the Flyers return home for their last 3 preseason games before it all starts for real. Tonight, 2 of their marquee forwards, Cam Atkinson and Travis Konechny, make their returns against their closest division rival. It's preseason action, Flyers and Devils, and it's coming up next.
Now, it's time for the countdown to face-off on the BetRivers.com Flyers Broadcast Network. Here's Tim Saunders and Todd Fedoruk.
They've gotten better in each of their 3 preseason games. Flyers beat a good Boston team last night on the road. Tonight, they're going to dress their best lineup yet against the high-flying New Jersey Devils. A pleasant good evening. Welcome to the Flyers hockey action again with Todd Fedoruk and Tim Saunders. Flyers made a little bit of a statement last night, as much as you can in a preseason game. They went into Boston and knocked off the team with the best record of the NHL last year. Fridge, I thought the most impressive part of that to me was how the Flyers took momentum back from the Bruins after the second period, and Bobby Brink made a little bit of a statement of his own.
Yeah, I agree. I think Bobby Brink had a strong game last night, and it continues with the theme that John Tortorella is trying to achieve in camp, which is if you work and you earn, you're going to get rewarded for it. And Bobby Brink did that last night, come off a 2-point night, had a goal and assist, obviously played strong. And you know what? The game, it was a good game. There was ebbs and flows. It was back and forth. Both teams responded. It looked like teams are, again, halfway through that preseason mark and getting ready and gearing up. You're seeing the best lineup for the Flyers so far in camp, and 2 turning players, Travis Konechny and Cam Atkinson, who I'm very excited to watch tonight, see how they do.
Well, the biggest question coming into camp, of course, was the health of Cam Atkinson and John Couturier. Couturier played in the opener on Monday up in New Jersey. Atkinson is set to be in the lineup tonight. He and Travis Konechny, in fact, are both dressed. And 2 more important players, I can hardly think that.
Yeah, no, it's exciting because we were worried about Cam Atkinson in that first game because we heard he was going to be playing along with Coots, and that's exciting. You want those veterans coming back into the lineup. Then we heard that he got a little bit injured in camp. Small injury, had nothing to do with the major injury. It was probably just going through those early days in camps. Obviously, Torts' camps are wearing on players, and it's going to be exciting to see Cam in tonight's game. I want to see him play. I want to see him just like Coots in that first game as well, how he settles into the game. He gets active right away and just starts playing hockey.
You know, another guy we haven't seen yet is Carter Hart. We obviously expect him to play a huge role with this team. He is going to get the start and probably go the whole way after Cal Peterson made the battle for the backup job a little more interesting last night because he was outstanding in Boston.
I think we named a new save called the Scorpion, right? He made a couple 10-bell saves, and those are hard to do. We call them 10-bell saves for a reason because he made them. He made good saves. He kept them competitive in the game, and he kind of announced himself as, look, I want this job. So that's what coach is asking for. He wants people to step up. He wants them to take what is theirs. And I think that some of the players are doing that.
New Jersey Devils look like they're going to make a run for another division title this season. The Flyers trying to hand them their first preseason loss here tonight. Flyers and Devils are coming up. We'll take the break. We'll come back with the starting lineups and the opening faceoff when we return on the BetRivers.com Flyers Broadcast Network.
This has been the Countdown to Face-Off on the Flyers Radio Network.
If your stunning home has gone a little stale, it might be time to contact your local CertaPro painters. We bring the power of pro to every job. That's CertaPro's power to do the job right, the first time, every time, and the power to renovate your home without breaking down walls. Take your home from blah to booyah. Get on CertaPro's schedule today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. Home improvement contractor registration numbers are available at CertaPro.com.
Ugh, I don't have time for a cold.
Honey,
Honey?
you need DayQuil Severe Honey flavor.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honey-licious taste. Because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Now I'm getting a cold.
Honey?
Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe Honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious. Power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey, Scott, dust off those renovation plans. Start designing the kitchen of your dreams with help from Colonial Marble and Granite. Colonial Marble and Granite offering fully installed countertops for just $14.99. How about an all-in kitchen for $69.99? That includes cabinetry, countertops, sink and faucet package. You heard me right. $69.99 all-in kitchen. Stop by an area showroom to see their amazing selection of products or make an appointment for a free in-home consultation. Visit colonialmarble.net today.
At Independence Blue Cross, we believe in giving you the tools you need to pursue your healthiest life. From premiums as low as $0 per month to health discounts and cash rewards, it pays to have coverage with Independence. With the strongest network of doctors and hospitals in the region and free 24/7 virtual doctor visits, you can feel confident that quality care is always within reach. Learn more about your coverage options at ibx.com.
Let me tell you about Surfside Iced Tea. It's the perfect blend of fresh ingredients and premium stateside vodka. It comes in 4 flavors: iced tea, peach tea, half and half, and lemonade. They're available in an 8-pack called the Starter Pack or a 4-pack in single flavors. Surfside has just 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and the best part, 0 carbonation, because not everything needs bubbles. Look for the can with the sunset stripes, now available in the Wells Fargo Center and your local liquor stores. Surfside, sunshine in a can.
Philadelphia Flyers hockey on the BetRivers.com Flyers broadcast network.
What we watched was so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
From the Wells Fargo Center, it's the Flyers and the New Jersey Devils as the 2 division rivals meet for the second time of the preseason.
Tonight's goalies for the Devils, Vitek Vanacek, 33 wins, 11 losses, 4 in overtime, a goals against average of .245 and a save percentage of .911 for the Flyers. Carter Hart's getting the start tonight in over 55 games last year. He won 22, lost 23, 10 in overtime losses, a goals against average of .294 and a save percentage of .907. Tonight's referees, Kelly Sutherland and Brandon Blandina. And the linesmen are Ryan Jackson and Jesse Marquise.
Well, they've got 3 games under their belt already, but it feels so good to be back in this building. Flyers played their last 3 games in the preseason at home, and that probably is kind of an advantage. Early on, you want to look at the kids. Now, from this point on, it's kind of settling on who your roster is going to be and getting guys to shake the rust.
Yeah, you call this fine-tuning, right? The pieces are starting to fall into place. Those final roster positions are going to be solidified. The veterans are going to start playing a little bit more, getting ready and gearing up for the start of the season.
Flyers nearly turned the puck over in behind their own goal. Game underway. They start with Noah Cates out with Bobby Brink. Brink earning himself really another game tonight just based on his strong performance last night in Boston. A goal, assist. He scored in the shootout, and they know he's a good power play player, Fridge. It's 5-on-5 that he's got to prove that he belongs, tracking pucks, playing well at both ends, both sides of the puck, and he did that last night.
Yeah, and if Tortorella is going to be looking for any player to join his team, they're going to be defensive-minded. He's done a really good job of getting highly skilled players or ones that aren't so defensive-minded to truly stick and try and increase their defensive zone coverage and prowess.
Yeah, you're going to have to at least be able to be responsible defensively if you're going to make this club for. Furry is up on a top line with Couturier and Konechny. And this is a kid that depending on what they think, has been a good camp so far. Putting them in a position with really good players tonight to show that what he could do.
Yeah, if you're Brendan Fury and you're looking at your line mates, you know this is a marquee opportunity to perform. So hopefully he's on his game tonight and he does best with that opportunity.
Flyers make a change, and here's Cam Atkinson in his first shift in over a year. Flyers gain the zone, the loose puck in the high slot. Atkinson able to knock it away from traffic, and then from the right point, the Flyers dump it in deep. He's out there with Matt Brown, turned over. Atkinson plays it out in front, and a shot for the point man, Jennings, deflected up over the goal. Good play by Atkinson to get away from traffic and then try to throw it at the net. That was blocked, and it came out at center ice. So the Flyers have got to come out into the neutral zone. Check was Curtis Lazar, and Philadelphia skates right back in. Matt Brown dishes it back to center ice as the Flyers are trying to get a change. Early goal of the opening period, just underway. The Flyers in Devils, no score. Here's the lead pass over the line. Wade Allison tried to drop it there. Back to Allison with a shot. He scores! What a setup with Bobby Brink. And Allison fires it high into the net for a 1-0 Flyers lead.
Wade Allison, we talked about this all camp. He's one of those guys competing for a job. He just kind of get a good job there by putting one upstairs. And a nice play coming in. I like this line. Wade Allison does a good job. He's just opening up, and he turns right away. He wants it back, and he's able to lift that puck up and over Vitek Vanacek's pad. A nice goal and a good start for the Flyers.
Almost looked like there was a little bit of miscommunication. The drop pass Allison made for Brink, but Brink found it, went to the net, and then found Allison in the crease, who made no mistake for a 1-0 Philadelphia lead. Already a better start than the first game in New Jersey on Monday, where the Flyers were down 3 goals before the game was, 4 minutes old. So it's 1-0 Philadelphia with the early lead. And Bobby Brink sets up another one. Alexander Holtz puts it into the corner. Nico Hischier chased it down, laid it out in front, but the Flyers tip it away and swept out to center ice by Konechny. It's Allison on the goal, set up by Bobby Brink. Here's Emil Andre. His long lead pass misses everything, went right on goal. Andre draws the other assist on the goal by Allison at 2:04. That's their own blue line. Mark Stahl stands up at the line and flipped it up the left wing. Brink on the boards, trying to dump it in with the backhand. Well, you talk about a guy, though, is fighting for his life in camp. Bobby Brink is doing exactly what you want to see a kid do, is step up and grab it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Bobby Brink, Wade Allison, Brendan Fury, those guys are going to be the players that are looking for those spots. Obviously, Wade Allison played with us a little bit last year, but you never make your team, right? You got to continuously try to improve and increase your position and your game, and that's how it is in the NHL.
Puck deflected into the Devil bench and how to play. Lindy Ruff is, of course, the coach of the New Jersey Devils, the active wins leader in the NHL, and fourth active, of course, behind him is John Tortorella. So 2 veteran coaches. Torts is actually upstairs tonight as Rocky Thompson works the bench. And so back in the Devil end, Rhett Gardner gets to it in the corner, wrapped it back to the blue line. Ronnie Anders skips it off him into the corner, and Tice Thompson failed to clear. It's back in behind the net. Cal Foote puts it over to the far wall, and the Flyers get a stick on that. Tuomala couldn't control, and now they'll wind it back in behind the net. Devils go back for it. Foote defensively. He's out with Santeri Hataka. Hataka puts a Flyer on the ice and flips the puck in behind his own net. Cal Foote headmans. Up the right wing is Thompson. Thompson lead pass. Good stick by Schinning to knock that away from a man. And the puck comes all the way out to center ice on the near wall. Just tipped away from Rhett Gardner. Gardner will make his way to the Flyer bench as Philadelphia changes again. Nearly picked off at center ice by Schinning as he stepped up on a man. Myers steered up the left wing. Your collision there, losing his stick, was Cam Atkinson. They give him another one at the bench. And Dougie Hamilton will pump it in deep. Bouncing puck behind the net. Gardner Hart under the goal to play it into the corner. Matt Brown trying to pull it off the wall. Brown's another kid that came to rookie camp. He signed in the American League with the Phantoms, but had a real good rookie camp and has gotten himself a couple of games in big camp. At center ice, Tanner Lazinski will backhand one wide of the net, and the Devils go back for that. 4 minutes, 20 seconds gone, 40 seconds gone here in this opening period. The Flyers with a 1-0 lead. The goal by Wade Allison, his first. All the way back down the ice. No icing called here. Philadelphia gets to it. They tip it into the corner, controlled by Couturier, and he'll lift the backhand out at center ice. Turning to get to that is Brendan Smith with Konechny on him. Pressuring on the forecheck. Smith flipped it into the corner behind his own goal, but the Flyers will get there. Couturier left it for Konechny, and he'll wrap it in behind the Devil goal. Smith, the far corner. They put ahead. Ataka got rid of that. And Brendan Smith will flip it up the center ice. Up the left wing. Catching up with that is Timo Meier, but they're going to say he was offside at the Flyer blue line.
You know what I just seen in Konechny? Some real good speed. You know, I know it's his first game. He's been skating a lot, but his track down speed on that little play and his forward or his offensive zone chasing is tremendous right now. He's traveling with that puck well.
Yeah, that's his game, right?
Yeah, he can track it down, and it creates pressure. That's why it creates turnovers, and the guys coming behind him, it can help.
Kate's out with Brink and Allison for a face-off of the circle to the left of the Devil goal. 1-0 Flyers with the lead. They win another one. Here's Brink with a shot, and Foot got a stick on that to the corner. Pulled in behind the goal. Noah Cates now looking to create offensively. Back out left point. Emil Andre took a hit, played it back into the corner. Flyers behind the net to Cates. He's got a man jumping in for the right point. A shot to the goal by Ristolainen, and glove down. Vitek Vanacek has it covered.
Looks like that puck was rolling a little bit on Ristolainen. I love that name.
You like to say it,
I like that name. Yeah. Still got the shot off. Big D man. First game tonight.
He was, in John Tortorella's opinion, the most improved Flyer last year from the start to the end.
That's good. That's a good place to be in any coach's book.
They saw back in the Devil end far circle. Rhett Gardner with Lazinski and Ole Lixell, and now they're going to do the draw again and toss Gardner out. Lixell unable to win it, but he does come to the right point. Trying to Yatter threw it off a man. Down low on the end wall. Gardner trying to get free. He was checked, still fights for it, pushes it toward the crease, and Vanacek on his hands and knees puts the glove on that. Well, the Devils, Fridge, we said Monday, might be the fastest team in the NHL. They're young, they're quick, and they've got some skill. Some in the lineup tonight, including Nico Hischier and Timo Meier.
Yeah. We talked about this team, how they were kind of out of it last year at the start of the season, and look how they ended up.
They lost the first two games, the opener to the Flyers, and then they went on a winning streak. They won 13 straight games after that.
Yeah, they had a good, strong showing, some good young players. The Hughes, he showed up. Banner year.
Jack Hughes, their newest, biggest star. He is not in the lineup, did not play Monday, so Flyers will have to wait till the regular season to see Jack Hughes. Here's Ronnie Eddard jumping up the middle. Left wing pass. Lazinski. Eddard was hit. Here's a shot up high and a save by Vanacek. Penalty coming up on New Jersey. Lazinski had a chance to push one at the net again, but couldn't get it to the goal. Tripping penalty on New Jersey, and the Flyers, when we come back, will get the first power play chance of the game. It's 1-0 Philadelphia with the lead on the BetRivers.com Flyers Broadcast Network.
This is Philadelphia Flyers hockey on 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Golf Zone gets it. You want to work on your game and make time for the family. Now you can do both at the Golf Zone in Chester County. With a driving range powered by Top Tracer technology, you can practice with purpose. Stop hitting into nets or screens. At Golf Zone, you get to watch the ball fly. Featuring a 400-plus yard range, real balls, target greens, putting green, and practice bunkers. Have fun with the family at the best mini golf course in the area. Have a blast go-kart racing. racing. There's fun for the whole family. Go to golfzoneproshop.com and start practicing with purpose today.
Meanwhile, at the New Jersey Lottery Scratch-Offs division.
Team, let's load up the truck to deliver these new loaded scratch-offs.
All right. Loaded with $2,000 and $5,000 top prizes. $10,000 top prizes are loaded.
$20,000 loaded and ready to roll.
Now that's a truckload of more top prizes and more chances to win.
Play the new loaded scratch-offs. Anything can happen in Jersey.
Easy on the turns, Jerry.
Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or somebody knows a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey man, looking good. It's Stitch Fix. I'd like to thank my stylist for making me look so great. They always get my fit just right. They send clothes that work for me and my budget. They even found me my favorite pair of jeans. I'd like to thank Stitch Fix because let's get real, I couldn't make this style happen on my own. They just make everything so easy. So thank you, Stitch Fix. They just get me, and they'll get you too. Stitch Fix. Take your style quiz today at StitchFix.com.
Philadelphia Flyers hockey on the BetRivers.com Flyers broadcast network.
Flyers fans, tickets are on sale now for all Flyers home game at Wells Fargo Center. Be here for the biggest matchups, exciting theme nights, and giveaways this season. Get your tickets at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com.
Flyer power play. Tice Thompson's going to be sent for tripping. He was the one that upended Ronnie Addard at center. And so the Flyers will skate it 5-on-4. Sean Couturier comes out and directs a little traffic behind him. Atkinson at the right point. Ristolainen on the near side. Konechny and Brink, the other power play forwards. Talk about putting Brink in a position to succeed. They're giving him every opportunity to make this club. And at least the last couple of games, looks like he's taking advantage.
Yeah, and he's earned it too. 2 points last night. He was a strong performer, and why not? You deserve that spot. Continue it.
Drops it for Couturier as he hits the line. Left wing pass, bumped into the corner. Couturier chased it down. He's outnumbered, bumped up the puck, and Nico Hischier pushes it up to Brendan Smith, who clears. They do use Nico Hischier on a PK rule. We saw that on Monday. So they can be dangerous shorthanded with guys like that on the ice. Up the left wing, batted him deep by Brink. Chased it down. It's steered away from him by Hatatka. And out at the line, held in. Ristolainen jams it off of Dawson Mercer and out to center ice. So the Flyers regroup there. Here's Couturier. Step back in, snapped it in deep. Konechny off the end wall. Tried to cut out in front. It was batted away from him in the slot. Tried to keep that alive, but couldn't get it to the right point man. Atkinson there, and look out, pushed the other way. Eric Hall is in, took a shot, and Carter Hart swallows that up on the shorthanded chance by Hall.
Hall, a little board battle, stick check. Beats the D-man there, gets in, and hey, Carter Hart, just a simple play, right? Swallowed up, don't get that rebound. Kind of the first test for him, really, in this game.
What do you think's going through the mind of Cam Atkinson after sitting out a whole year? I mean, that had to be frustrating last season.
Oh, it's a long time. It's a long time. To stay out that long, it's a long time. To be able to come back, I wanted to talk about his first shift. He did everything that you want to do in a first shift. He got a hit in, he got a touched the puck, got a shot on net. What can you ask for?
I'm sure all bite this night, too. Noah Cates dropped the puck through center ice. Suomala dumped into the corner on the second power play unit here with Matt Brown and Noah Cates. Ole Lixo got a stick on it. It rolled back into the corner. Lixo's got it there, and he played it back to the line. Emil Andre backs to the middle point and then tried to flip it at the net, deflected off the stick high into the air. On the end wall, Brown goes to get it into the corner. Lixo looks back to the line, gets it up top. Andre near side to Amano, looking at the net, back in front of the one-timer by Brown, deflected wide. Right corner, Lixo. Good puck movement by the second unit. Emil Andre's got it at the right point. Back into the circle. Lixo tried to thread a pass into the middle, and he just met Matt Brown with that. Back behind the goal. Penalty is over. A centering pass into the high slot. Here's Andre. Shoots one and headed block. Look out, the Devils head the other way, 2-on-1. Tice Thompson out of the box. Carries up the right wing. Looks, finally laid it across, and they score. What a setup in front. And the Devils come out of the penalty box and tie. Curtis Lazar is going to get credit for it. His first of the preseason. And New Jersey has tied the score at 1.
Tice Thompson off the shot from the point, man. I wasn't sure if it was either Emil Andre who took that shot, but it's blocked and it goes right to Tice Thompson coming out of the box. What are you going to do about it? 2-on-1 the other way. Tice Thompson made a nice play and then moved it over to Curtis Lazar, who just slid it in under our poor young goaltender there.
So it comes 12 seconds after the Flyer power play had expired. Thompson comes out and goes 2-on-1 with Curtis Lazar. For a moment, it looked like he waited too long, but put it right into the crease, and Lazard was able to tip it home.
Soderhart was kind of down and out before that. He waited long enough to open up that backside of the net.
Here's Nico Heishier. He'll lay it out at center ice. Controlled. Hataka stepped in. Left wing pass out of the reach of Timo Meyer. And Mark Stahl able to shovel it back up to center. Lazar, and the only assist by Tice Thompson. Puck into the right wing corner. Hard to imagine. It's been 10 years since Curtis Lazar came into the league. Doesn't seem like that's possible. In the left corner, here's Konechny. Tried to feed it back to the line. Ginny did get there just in time, but had his dump into the corner knocked down, and they clear. So Ginny's got it back to his own line again. Couturier with Furry and Konechny. From their own zone, Ginny up the middle. He missed Konechny with that pass. Eric Holla turns in transition from center ice for New Jersey. Left wing, Andre Palat kicked it in deep, runs into Ginny, who took the hit and has the puck and plays it up the near side. It's banded up for the center.
Yeah, Ginny took a big hit there and continued to make the play to get that puck out.
Right up the middle. They almost sprung Eric Holla again. That's the advantage of having the size, the mobility of Adam Ginny. And the Flyers, Noah Cates trying to get it in deep, but the Devil line comes right back to him. Looks for skating room on the high slot and then drops it. Andre gets to the point. Leaves it for Allison. His shot pulled off the skate. Devils had a chance to clear and didn't get it out. And at the line, Andre threw it through traffic, and that's off the stick to the far corner. The Devils with a chance to lift it back into the Philadelphia end. We're past the halfway point of this opening period. Flyers scored first. Allison from Brink and Andre, and then Curtis Lazar answered after the Devils had just killed off a penalty. Here's Emil Andre looking for Allison. He was kind of backing away. Got tied up on the wall by Chris Tierney, and it stuffed into the corner. Battle for control. Tierney plays it back to the blue line. Point-to-point shot from the left point. Hit a man at the side of the net, and the Flyers will use the glass and clear back into the Devil end. Good clear without taking a penalty. That allows the Flyers, without taking an icing, that allows them to get a change made. 8:45 left. First, Flyers batted back into the Devil end, just out of the reach of Matt Brown. This will be icing against Philadelphia.
Transition. That's what the Devils are really good at. And to negate that, you've got to execute. Those passes the Flyers are making sometimes to the neutral zone are negated or knocked down by the Devils. And we know how quick they are. They can turn it around and come back, and you generate a lot of offense off of that transition. So you'd like to see the Flyers kind of clean up that tape to tape, a little bit like last night.
Nico Heishier wins a faceoff for the Devils. They scrub the puck off the draw. The Devils try to keep it alive, but now Cam Atkinson will hammer it off the wall to center. Atkinson on a third line. Not that they're going to manage his ice time, but it's going to take a little while to shake off the rust when you miss a whole year. Couturier, of course, was more like a year and a half that he missed. Up the right side, back into the zone. Andre's centering pass was actually Walker that put it in front, but the Devils snuffed that out. And New Jersey's Timo Meyer sends it in deep. Flyers Carter Hart gives it to Stahl. I think Stahl's going to be a nice calming influence back in that Flyer blue line. Lifted wide of the net by Atkinson. Devils, big hit in the corner. Rhett Gardner was bumped off the puck by Timo Meyer. Meyer had a career year last year, came to the Devils late at the deadline, and ended up with a combined 40 goals.
Not a bad pickup.
I guess not. Ginny up the near wall. Philadelphia, a little difficulty stepping out. Now they're going to lay it rink wide for Ronnie Adder. Adder behind the net. To Ginny. And here comes Philadelphia on the attack. Ole licks on the left wing. Sends it in deep. Squeezes through the check of Brendan Smith. They play it back to the line. Ginny goes point to point. Here's Adder looking at the net. He snapped a wrister just wide of the goal. Here's Ginny. Wrapped it back into the left wing corner. Battle ensues on the end boards. Tuamala trying to get to it, but the Devils control, and Brendan Smith starts out. Smith will lift it high into the air and gloved down by Emil Andre. 7 minutes left in the first. Up the left wing. Tuamata cut into the high slot, but stripped to the puck. It's still loose. Furry kept that alive. And now Couturier will wheel it around him behind the net. On the left wing half wall, Emile Andre. Fired behind the goal. Couturier's got it. Back right point. Ristolainen point to Andre. Now into the middle. Little give and go with Konechny. Here's Andre skating in. Took a shot, bad angle, and it's held up by Vitek Vanacek. I think some of the players on the ice paused like that might have snuck through, but it stayed out. Great scoring chance by Travis Konechny right there.
Konechny just waiting. He's waiting. I think he was looking back door for Coots, but he was tied up. Unfortunately, that hit the post.
All right, we're going to time out on the ice. 6:30 to go here in the first. We're even at 1 on the BetRivers.com Flyers Broadcast Network.
This is Philadelphia Flyers hockey on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Andrea Bocelli in concert, presented by Stiefel. December 7th, 8 p.m., Wells Fargo Center. The world's most romantic voice, Andrea Bocelli in concert. Until now at WellsFargoCenterPhilly.com.
At Independence Blue Cross, we believe in giving you the tools you need to pursue your healthiest life. From premiums as low as $0 per month to health discounts and cash rewards, it pays to have coverage with Independence. With the strongest network of doctors and hospitals in the region and free 24/7 virtual doctor visits, you can feel confident that quality care is always within reach. Learn more about your coverage options at ibx.com.
Bert Kreischer presents Tops Off World Tour.
I look at my dad, I go, hey, Dad, maybe we should sit down. I don't think your Al's out tonight. 30 seconds later, whoo, right on top of it, we hear, whoo. My oldest son goes, Dad, look across the lake at the old man on his dock. There's another drunk, blind old white man just, whoo.
Bert Kreischer live on stage, November 29th, Wells Fargo Center. Get tickets at WellsFargoCenterPhilly.com.
Philadelphia Flyers hockey on the BetRivers.com Flyers Broadcast Network.
Inside Edge season ticket memberships for the 2023-2024 season are available now. Get exclusive benefits, concessions, and merchandise discounts, new rewards, and more. Join the team and become a member today at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com.
Allison for the Flyers. Curtis Lazar got it back for New Jersey. And a puck that
was kicked in.
Yeah, after we saw the replay, I'm not even sure he got a stick on it.
Well, he didn't get a stick on it, and it wasn't kicked in, but he did go off of his skate, so a lucky break for the Devils.
First period, Emile Andre's been a little bit of a mixed bag. I mean, he had an assist on the Flyer goal, but his shot at the point was blocked at the end of that Flyer power play that led to the odd man break the other way, and the Devils took advantage.
Yeah, you can't fault Emile on that. That's one of those bad breaks.
Chris Colo got it out at center ice. Chris Colo, a one-time Phantom. Green back into the zone. And tripped up with Sean Walker. He got waylaid by the stick of Nico Hischier, and Hischier, I think, is going to go for tripping.
Yeah, it looked like Nico Hischier just got his. That's when you step on the stick. It's an automatic. It's hard to do because you're going after the skate and the puck in the same place.
14-11 is going to be the time of the tripping penalty on the Devil captain. As he took down Sean Walker, he went hard into the end wall. Good to see he got up and was okay.
Yeah, that could have been dangerous for Walker, but I'm glad he jumped up.